The COVID-19 pandemic has affected everyone in so many different ways, ranging from loss of jobs to loss of income, loss of business, to health-related issues, and sadly to loss of lives. Luckily, there's been so much information on how you can protect yourself and your loved ones from contracting this pandemic. In today's video, I'd like to focus on how you can protect your money during this crisis. Now, in March this year, the IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund, predicted that there would be a recession due to the COVID-19 pandemic. In fact, their prediction was that this recession would be worse than the one that happened in 2008 and 2009. I don't know if you remember it. I remember it. I was still in school, being taken care of by my parents, but I remember perfectly well feeling the pinch. Now, fast forward to today. Whether the recession has happened or is about to happen, that's a story for another day. One thing we all are sure is that the global economy has been greatly affected, including economies of the most powerful countries in the world. And of course, that should tell you how much economies of the developing countries have been affected. Now, I know right now you might not have the power to control the economy of your country or the world, but you have the power to control your economy. And when I say your economy, I mean your finances. You have the power to take charge of your finances. You have the power to direct how your finances or your money is going to be during this crisis. That said, let's talk about the different strategies you can use to protect your money in order for you to stay afloat during this challenging time. My prayer is that these strategies will guide you into the right direction of protecting your money, as well as relieve you of fear and worry you might have on how to survive during this crisis. The beauty with these strategies or these tips is that you can use them whether it's during a crisis or in a normal situation, and you just need to up your game on how you can manage or protect your finances. So let's dive straight into the strategies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara K. If you're new here, you are so welcome. Please remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it so that you will be the first to know once I post any video. Now, strategy number one is this is not the time to be bougie. What do I mean? It's not the time to buy fancy things. It's not the time to buy flashy things. It's not the time to buy things you can't afford in order to keep up with your friends or your community. As a matter of fact, this is a time to hold on to your money than ever before. Use your money, spend your money on only things essential to you. You know what is essential to you, but the basic essential things to every human being, like things like food, things like shelter, things like transport, stick to those. But even with those, be very mindful. For example, don't keep eating out instead of having a home cooked meal just because food is essential. If you know you can't afford that lifestyle, please put a hold on to it. This is not the time. It's the time to protect your money. And if you know you're buying anything just to please your friends, just to fit in with your friends, to fit in your community, please, this is not the time. Just hold on to those things. Strategy number two is that have an open and honest conversation with your family members. And this could be with your husband, with your wife, with your kids, with your sisters, whoever it is that you're living with or taking care of. Research has shown that finances can have such a huge impact on relationships. So this is a time to be real with your family members on what expenses need to be cut out of your family budget and why. This will help you manage your family members' financial expectations of you, and it will also give you a peace of mind because then everyone is on the same page. No one expects you to move heaven and earth or do things that you can't afford. Strategy number three is create a budget. Having a budget is such an amazing and an important tool when it comes to managing your finances or protecting your finances. And for you to even have that conversation, to be able to have that conversation with your family members, then you need to have a budget that will clearly point out for you which things need to be put on hold for you and your family to survive during this crisis. For example, in my household, there are things that we agreed we need to put on hold because they were luxuries and were not essential, and we needed to sort of cut them back and use that money to things that were more essential, or were essential for us to be able to manage or survive during this time. Now, for you to have a budget, you need to have tracked your expenses. I have talked about tracking your expenses before in 2 previous videos. I'll leave the link of those videos in the description box, also at the end of the video, that clearly point out on how you can track your expenses and what to do after you have tracked your expenses. But just in case you haven't been tracking expenses, it's okay. There's always a first time, and it's never late. Just do your budget on the things that you know, spend your money on, and work with that. Strategy number 4 is watch out for fraud. As you're busy learning ways on how to protect your money, there is a fraudster somewhere learning on how to be smart on your money. So be very, very vigilant. Unfortunately, during times like this, where there's a financial crisis, as people are busy looking for ways on how to survive and make ends meet, the people who think the only way to survive or to make ends meet is by stealing from people. So be careful, and fraudsters will come in different forms. And so if you're lucky and you have some surplus money on you that you'd like to invest, do research and research again. Be very sure of whatever you're going to invest your money in. If it's a purchase that you want to make of an asset or an item, or whatever it is, do research again. Be sure you're not buying air or fake things. And remember, fraudsters will come in very many different forms that I don't know, I can't tell you, but just watch out for frauds, because they're coming or they've already come. Strategy number 5 is find out other ways you can earn some extra income. Maybe your only source of income was your job that you've lost. Maybe it was your business that you clearly see will not survive during this time. Maybe you've just realized that your only source of income, or the income you have, can never bail you out in times like this. So basically what I'm trying to say is that stop putting your eggs in one basket. Have several streams of income, and there are very many ways in how you can find out what other streams of income to have. Number 1 is find out your passion. What are you passionate about? What do you like to do? What are you good at? Maybe you like to do research, and you can do research for companies that can pay you for your work done. Maybe you're good at video editing. Whatever it is that you're good at. And in case you don't know what you're passionate about, try to follow what your hobbies are and see how to monetize them. You can turn, maybe if you're good at sports, you could teach kids how to ride bikes, how to maybe play basketball, and charge them per hour or per whatever time you give them for teaching them that sport. The other point is that you can look around your community and find out what gaps are there, what needs are there, what problems are there, and try to find out solutions to bridge those gaps. Try to find out solutions to those problems, because that's how business are actually created. But whatever you do, find an extra source of income, or a side hustle, I may call it that. Whatever it is, don't put your eggs in one basket. Strategy number 6 is consider having an insurance plan. If you don't have, and if you do, please cross-check to make sure that it hasn't expired or that it is still valid. Now, there are very many types of insurance, but you as an individual know what is essential to you, and you know perfectly well what you can afford during this time. But one insurance type that I would highly recommend is the medical insurance plan, especially during this time. And the fact that the pandemic we're dealing with is a health-related pandemic, then it is important 100% for you to be protected. Heavens forbid should anything happen to you or to your family members. Remember, no one plans to be sick, no one plans to get hurt. So a health insurance will protect you from unexpected high medical costs. And remember that your health is your wealth. Finally, don't forget to be kind to one another. Don't forget to support local businesses in your home area. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And let's continue this conversation in the comment section. I would like to know what strategies you are taking to protect your money, or what strategies you will pick up from this video moving forward in order to protect your money or your finances during this crisis. See you in my next video. Shalom.